Hello, welcome to my very first garden tour. My name is Ella and I'm gardening here in zone 5B. Come with me on this blustery, is that a word? Yeah, come with me on this chilly morning, Saturday morning. Today is April 24th. This will be a very unfiltered early spring garden tour. Let's go see the garden. All right, we'll start here at the front of the garden. Remember, this is very unfiltered. There's no cleanup, there's no weeding done. Rhoda will do some weeding. Rhoda, what are you doing? You eating those weeds? Yeah, so this is our little gate held together by a carabiner. Hey buddy, how you doing? Let's show them the garden. All right, we start right here. I've lined the garden at the entrance with, this is lovage. It's kind of like celery. I've added it to soups and I don't know, something that when I don't have celery, it'll give it just a celery type flavor, and it's pretty good. And this thing will grow huge. That's why I like it at the entrance because it grows humongous. It just kind of creates a little entrance. I don't know, I just like it. And it smells good. I like the smell. Some people might not like the smell, but I do. Along the raised bed right here, I just planted kind of like an herbaceous garden in here. There's things like hostas, some comfrey right here. This is comfrey. I pick this and feed it to the chickens and make compost tea out of it. There's a hosta growing in here that'll come up. There's daylilies, some yarrow down there. And also, if I don't plant something here, weeds just pop up and I don't want that. So here's our first bed. We have, if you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beds that go all the way across the garden. This is the first bed. I usually plant things in here that will tolerate shade because it's not shady right now because this tree doesn't have any leaves on it yet, but it will be shady. So I usually plant things like spinach or lettuce or those types of things that will handle shade. I also have this, that's a weed, this sorrel that I planted and it comes back every year. It pops up. I could eat it. I left a terracotta pot out here so that I could remember where the sorrel was planted. And it looks like it's breaking, so that's nice. I'll have to clean that up. I usually give this to the chickens as well. They love it. I don't love the flavor of sorrel. Sometimes I'll shove it in a salad, but I don't love it. So the chickens love it though. Right here, I have contained my mint. See? Mint. I have mint right here in these pots. I've got like a pineapple mint. This mint, fun story. This is from our cabin. I took some from our cabin. We always have it growing up there and it reminds me of the cabin. And so I decided I would like some. I took some and it's growing back. This is not that. I don't know why this tag is in there because that is definitely not what it is. This is some sort of mint. Ah, here's the tag. Oh, it's just a sweet mint. See? Sweet mint. I like to have mint growing because I like to smell it when I come in the garden. Right in the walkway. And I think this is chocolate. Actually, let's smell it. It should smell like chocolate. Yeah, chocolate. Smell that? Does it smell like chocolate? Yeah, it's chocolate. Which is awesome because every year I always think I'm going to make a chocolate ice cream, chocolate chip ice cream, and it's going to be awesome. But haven't done it yet. This is the year. This is the year. Okay, anyway. These last beds don't have anything planted yet. These are saved for peppers and cucumbers and tomatoes, and of course, since it's early spring, those are being grown currently under grow lights inside. So I don't have anything up yet, but they are still covered with, every fall I put down a mulch of leaves. So in a little bit, I'm going to, maybe today, what is this? In a little bit, I'm going to uncover all this, get all the mulch and leaves off of it, and put down a layer of compost and weed it. all my tomatoes and peppers and all that good stuff. As we go further down, here are some walkways. I love that things have just kind of popped up in the walkways, and I let it because it's fantastic. I let Black Eyed Susan right here just pop up in the walkways, mostly because I love Black Eyed Susan. It's so flippin' easy to grow, and it kind of just reseeds itself, and I don't really care because it's one of my favorite flowers. I kind of have planted it everywhere. I have it popped up all along back here. It's awesome. The bees love it, and the bugs love it, and the pollinators love it, so I leave it. All right, this bed back here, I planted, okay, I never really know what to put back here because we have these apple trees. See how beautiful these are right now? They're blooming right now. It's beautiful. These apple trees that really shouldn't be back here. Well, maybe they should. I don't know. They just shade this area back here, and I don't have the heart to cut them out. See, we've got one right here, and then we've got another one right here by the chicken coop. I kind of have just planted whatever wants to grow back here. So, I don't know. A smarter person might be like, just cut them out, plant a tree somewhere else. But we've had these growing for so long that I just don't have the heart for it. I can't kill stuff. So, on purpose anyway. I kill lots of things, but not on purpose. So, I planted 3 years ago actually, which is happy for us. 3 years ago I planted, this was maybe a dumb idea too, but it was an experiment. I planted strawberries, these are alpine strawberries, along the sides here, right here. And in the middle, I planted asparagus, which it's been 3 years, so I can probably start eating these this year, because you have to wait 3 years for asparagus to be established. But the issue is see those guys right there? Those chickens? I let them out in the fall and they came into this bed and kind of demolished it a bit. So I think I'm missing a lot of asparagus, especially over in that corner. I'm gonna have to, I don't know, plant some more, repair this, for sure. In the corners over here, underneath the tree, I have planted another herbaceous layer. And when I say herbaceous layer, I just mean it's just lots of perennial plants, basically, on the side. So I let, there's another comfrey in here that I let, look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh, that just looks so good. Man, this is like my favorite time of year. So it just looks so pretty. I don't know if the camera really does justice. Ah, love it. Anyway, this is a comfrey. There's a daylily back here. There's another comfrey. I just let those grow, and then I can come and either chop and drop and leave the comfrey in place and let it help the soil, or I feed it to chickens, or I make tea out of it. This is another lovage, which I might get rid of because it's kind of blocks all the other plants. I have some, what's this called? Oh, rhubarb. Couldn't think of rhubarb. Rhubarb growing. Again, I've never actually used rhubarb. I just like to grow it. Maybe this year I'll make a pie or something. I already had another one back here somewhere. Maybe not. Maybe not. And there's going to be, back here under this tree, because they love the shade, some hostas. Oh, yep, here they are. See them coming up right there? Those little pointy purple shoots. They'll be coming up in the back here under this tree. There's another one that'll be over there. So I've got a few hostas sprinkled in here, and some ferns, and just things that like shade. Back here is the chicken coop. They are all very impatiently waiting for me to feed them. They think I'm gonna feed them. Look how cute they are. Hi! What are you waiting for? Starving? I'll come feed you in a second. All right, that's back here. Up here I have my bee houses, which is like the funnest thing you can ever do if you just want a simple little project that you don't really have to do much. They're just nice, simple pets. These ones are mostly leaf cutter bees, and they will come out in the summertime when it gets really warm out here, like more in the 70s every day. Today it's only about 50 degrees right now, so anyway, they'll come out and help pollinate all the plants. Alright, this is a really cool thing. I want to figure out what to do with this. Maybe like grow something up it, but I just think it looks cool. Grow some cucumbers or something up it. That'd be awesome. My water catchment system. So I set up oh look, I have Christmas lights on this garden shed. I set up a rain gutter to catch the water and then come all the way down this little device. Let me tell you, it was not easy to set up. It's kind of jerry-rigged, but it comes down here, goes into the rain barrel, and then I can just put a bucket underneath and get the water up. So it's pretty full. I know you can't tell by me just hitting it, but it's full, I promise. So here is this used to be our chicken coop, but I wanted a garden shed, so I kind of have turned it into a garden shed. And isn't it cute? My dad made this. He put in a cool stained glass window. So back when the chickens were in here, it was like the fanciest chicken coop. Well, not the fanciest. I've seen way cooler chicken coops, but it was pretty fancy. And in front of it, I always plant something in here that looks pretty, but obviously I don't have it yet. And in here in front, I have all kinds of things. Again, I just plant what wants to grow and what will grow. That's easy, that I don't have to take care of. So hollyhocks will always grow wherever they're planted. They're so easy. This is a purple echinacea. That's a mousetrap. Don't touch that. That's one thing about this that's one thing about this garden shed, is unfortunately it's not yeah, let's just say that it's not high enough to see under, so mice like to go under there. So lesson to everyone, build it tall enough that you can see under, or flat on the ground. I don't know. Just make it so that it isn't like that. Make it so that you can see underneath it and clean it out, and the mice don't want to go hide under there. Anyway, here's another black-eyed Susan that I planted. Like I said, I put them kind of everywhere because they're so dang easy to grow. And along the other side, I have Rhoda sitting there. Rhoda, do you want to come in? Come here. Stay. There she is. Come on. She's a good dog. On the other side here, I've got... Oh, they're being so noisy. On the other side, I have another hollyhock and another echinacea right here. And some black-eyed Susans. Ah, I have this. Dang, what is this called? I cannot remember what this is called. This is plantain. I like to pick at that too during the year. During the year, I really just come around and grab all kinds of stuff and feed it to the chickens, and they love it. Especially because they're in a static run that they don't get to go out and forage. I like to just pick weeds and plants and throw it into them all the time, so they're always getting something green. There'll also be lots of volunteers that come up in here, like Calendula and Cosmos and Aroda. She likes to come in here and volunteer, don't ya? Just the best. Actually, she likes to look for a mouse, huh? Where's that mouse? Where's that mouse? Yeah. Back here, I built 3 boxes that have... There's a tag over here still. Oh, catmint. Catmint? Yeah, catmint. And I love it because it will be huge and it grows so easily, and it will be huge and get these really cool purple flowers on it. And I love it up against these chickens for some reason. But one problem I'm having is this. That, my friends, is a hole. Or, yeah, So that's a problem. Mice like to come and dig in these boxes and dig underneath and build homes and families for themselves, and I hate it. They're my #1 enemy. If we come around here, here is a very jerry-rigged system of composting that I put together. Yes, I built this, if you can probably tell. I just built it to have 3 compartments. Let's see how hot this one is. See, this one right now, which is really good, is at, oh, focus, is at almost 120. So this is really working hard. That's awesome. Rhoda and I like to dig through this because sometimes we'll find a mouse in here as well, which is always fun. Here's another bed that houses catmint and other things that volunteer in here. I think this might be some black-eyed Susan again. And there's always stuff that volunteers in here. I'm not really sure. I like to leave this and see what it turns out to be. I'm not sure this is sunflower maybe or something. Can't remember. But we shall see, because I'll leave it. And if I don't want it, I'll pull it out. Alright, the rest of the beds are right here. This one has, see, everything that's kind of along the, like the path, I just put with flowers and perennials that will come back every year. So I've got some yarrow again. This is lavender that will come up. I love having this when you walk in because I like to smell it. This bed right behind it is actually my, let's open it and see, is cabbage. I decided years ago that I have to, look how big they're getting. I only planted these, I swear, like 2 weeks ago. They're huge. Anyway, I decided years ago that I have to cover my cabbage because, oh my gosh, look what I just did. Oh my gosh. Dang it. Anyway, I decided years ago that I have to cover this because aphids love cabbage. And we have a huge aphid issue. But usually if I cover it with this really thin mesh, they usually stay away. So, hopefully. Alright, over here in this next bed is, I just put in some potatoes. I don't really know how to grow potatoes. I just kind of shove them in. And actually, this year, I didn't buy any official potatoes. I actually bought just organic potatoes from the grocery store that I planned on eating, but left them around too long and they started sprouting. So I just shoved them in. We'll see what happens. I'm sure that they'll grow something, but I like to experiment. Especially if I'm just gonna throw them away or in the compost. We'll see. So right here, we have garlic that I planted last October maybe. This is my very first time growing garlic. Never grown it before. I actually haven't always been a big garlic eater. Until recently, I've decided that it's too good for me and I need to eat it. So I planted this round tub full of garlic, and I don't know, I might have planted it a little too close together, but that's okay, first time. I always say that just plant and see what happens. I have a couple other tubs over there. I usually put something like just a big zucchini in one of them, or flowers, honestly. And I usually let things just grow up in the middle here. Usually it's calendula. There is oregano. I want to get some more soil for this pot though, because it's really looking sad. So I might take all this out and put new soil in and replant this oregano. Thyme also grows up in here, so it will grow up in this path. But what I love the most about gardening is this. I don't know why I get so dang excited when I see little volunteers. That's what they're called when they come up by themselves from last year. Little volunteers of whatever popping up through. Yeah, sometimes it might be weeds, and yeah, sometimes they'll just weed them out. But this, I believe, is borage. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but borage is awesome, and the bees love it, and it really just pops up on its own, and I love that. And if you eat it, it tastes like cucumbers, so that's always fun too. All right, this bed right here, I've planted a lot of cool season stuff already. It has some turnips. I've been loving steaming these turnip greens, and like I actually like the turnip greens kind of more than the root. So I don't know, I love it. But I haven't really been a big turnip fan till maybe about last year, and I really have just enjoyed it. And I've got some spinach and salad mix in these couple of rows, and I have a type of, I'll put the names on the screen because I cannot remember what they're called. I just plant stuff. This is a type of lettuce. I'll put the name up. But as you can see, it is already, it's only April 24th. It's already being eaten by something. Probably a slug or, I don't know, something like that. Am I really that worried about it? Not really. But it does make me a little bit sad. And this lettuce does make me sad because I had really high hopes for it. It is called Ella lettuce. And you can probably guess why I bought it and planted it. Because my name is Ella, and that's what I do. I basically buy seeds based on the names, let's be real. So if something is called Ella lettuce, I'm gonna buy it. But look, it is also being eaten by something. So I'm hoping that it can overtake whatever's eating it, or I might have to come out here with some diatomaceous earth, or I don't know, something else to help it along. I'm hoping that once it warms up a little bit out here, because it's been so cold, it will be able to overcome whatever's eating it. And the same for this Swiss chard. I might have put this out a little bit too soon, and it's having a hard time withstanding all the bug pressure. But you see, not everything is rainbows and sunshine. Sometimes things just get eaten, and you know what, that's okay. More stuff lives than gets eaten, I've decided. So, and here's some kale, and kale is a champ. Kale always survives everything, I think. It survives the hot, it survives the cold, it survives the bugs. It just seems to do so well. I wish that I liked kale more, because kale is really good for you and it's so easy to grow, but sometimes it doesn't taste as good as just a lettuce. Alright, let's go give us the chickens real quick. These leaves. Go. That hold you over till breakfast? Alright. Let's come around here. This bed I have decided to dedicate totally to raspberries. I'm getting closer and closer to just having a perennial garden with stuff that comes back every year. So in this bed, I actually planted these raspberries last year. I planted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this year they're starting to really bring up new shoots, which I'm excited about. And I hope that this just is overtaken with raspberries this year. And yeah, it might pop up in the walkways and everything, but you know what? I love raspberries, so I don't really care. That's what people always say to me. They're like, well, what if it takes over? Well, I love raspberries, so maybe I want it to take over. Right here, I just bought this cool nifty thing. This is called a green stalk, and I'm excited to put this together. I gotta go get some potting soil. This is for, I think I'm gonna put strawberries in here and grow them up vertically. It's gonna be awesome. I'm excited. Over here, we have a nice place to sit. under this tree, which that tree is a story for another day. Anyway, so we like to sit under here. We've got a little bird feeder. Uh-oh, I think my bird feeder is out of... Oh, yep. Maybe I should refill this right now. Let's do it. Let's refill this. The birds have got to eat too. What are you doing? This little girl follows me everywhere. She's my best friend. Let's put this back up. We got it? Yeah, we got it. Okay, it's back up. Here we go. Wait for the birds. Okay, where were we? All right, so I got some lemon balm over here, growing in a pot. I've actually decided that lemon balm, I used to have it over there where it's way sunnier, and it was not doing well. But I kind of put it over here in the shade, and it is like really doing much better. It's coming back after the winter right now, but when it gets warmer, it'll really do well. I have comfrey growing fence post here, or the fence line. I planted that in hopes that it would suppress weeds and things that will come from the grass, but I don't know if that's really working that well, but it sure looks cool when it grows big. Those birds are so loud. In this bed right here, I have another, this also kind of becomes a little bit shady over here from the tree behind me. So, man, those birds, they're so loud. What are they saying? So I have peas. This is a trellis that I just put up. This is just a bit of chicken wire that I put up. See, I just use whatever I have. I just put up a bit of chicken wire, and I have peas planted along the base here. Actually, some of them are coming up. I see one right here. Little baby pea. Hello. And I have more turnip planted right here. These plants back here, I can't remember which is which. My mom actually bought those from the nursery. Two of them are cauliflower, and 2 of them are Brussels sprouts. So I don't know how well those are gonna do. Usually in the past, cauliflower and broccoli have not done that well for us because in about a month, it'll get so hot all of a sudden that it just, I don't know, it just seems to bolt quickly and doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't form a head. Maybe there's something I can do to prevent that, but that's kind of what I've experienced. And then Brussels sprouts, I know that it needs to take a really long growing season, which I, again, have never planted that before, so I'm not sure how well that's gonna do either. But I planted it, so, because I just plant. And I have more kale over here. They're still babies. And I have some Swiss chard in here. And this, all this right here, is a mix that I bought. It is a mix of, it's kind of like an Asian stir-fry mix. So there's like bok choy and other types of Asian greens that I can probably put in a stir-fry, and this is my first time growing that as well. So I'm excited to see what that is like. All right, let's go over here. This over here along the side is another place where I planted perennials. This tree, which I didn't think would actually get this big, is supposedly a mulberry. Oh, it's right here. It is a dwarf ever-bearing mulberry. Now, I love mulberries. That's why I planted it, but I've had this tree for, or bush, whatever this is, for now, this is our 3rd year. I have not had one mulberry from this thing. And if I don't get anything from it this year, I think I'm just gonna chop it because I don't want it to get too tall. I kind of chop it anyway because I don't want it to get taller than like here. So I might chop it. But I have not had one mulberry, and if I don't get one this year, I will probably take it out. I don't need this to shade the rest of the garden because, yeah, because the sun is coming from over there, and all these things shade what I don't want to in here. So I have plantain growing along the path or along the bricks here. And again, I have black-eyed Susan and echinacea. And what's that? Maybe another echinacea? I don't remember. These things in here are kind of struggling because my other dog, Ada, she for some reason loves to lay right here. She comes out into the garden with me, lays right here. That's why I have these tomato cages around them so that she won't completely demolish them, because she is a big 120-pound dog. So yeah, so that's that. Thanks for joining me on my first ever garden tour. I hope that you'll join me for the next one. I'm hoping to, during the gardening season, make many garden tours, mostly so I can see the progress of the garden during the year, but maybe for you too. So join me, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.